Salve a tutti, siamo qui al Vigamus per l'IVDC 2012 e mi trovo qui assieme a Dino Dini, il padrino dei giochi di calcio. Hi Dino, tutto il mondo ti conosce per essere il padrino dei giochi di calcio. Si tratta di qualcosa che è scaturita dalla passione per lo sport più bello del mondo o per altre motivazioni?
Okay, well, this is an interesting question because I am not a big fan of football. It was really just a case of that was the game that the company I was talking to wanted, and so I made that game. But I think one of the things that helps if you're trying to translate some kind of thing to a new medium is to not be too close to it. So I was able to see, perhaps because I wasn't sort of a fanatic about football, I was able to see what was important and then try to translate that into the game. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Secondo te le simulazioni di giochi sportivi sono sempre perché sono da sempre popolari in questo settore, nella videogame industry? E come mai la gente oggigiorno predilige una sfida per esempio a PES o a FIFA piuttosto che organizzare una partita di calcetto sotto casa?
It's a good question. I mean, why indeed? It's not only that, there are other games that there's the same kind of thing, I feel. So for example, on Guitar Hero, I would ask, why is it that people play Guitar Hero instead of learning to play a real guitar? I think probably, I don't know about that, but for football, I think it's got to do with convenience, in part. It's actually difficult to, especially when you get a bit older, a bit difficult to organise a game, organizzare una partita. Non è sempre così facile da fare, no? Ma anche forse c'è un'altra cosa che sorry, adesso cambio dall'italiano a inglese, forse
okay.
The desire to the dream, la fantasia, perché quando giochi sul computer si può anche vincere il coppio del mondo, che forse non è possibile in altro modo, e forse c'è anche quella parte lì. Sì.
Perfetto. Quale potrebbe essere secondo te the next evolution step for sport games, il prossimo passo evolutivo per i giochi sportivi e in particolare per quelli di calcio? Esistono secondo te nuove e originali direzioni di design da seguire nello sviluppo?
Io credo di sì, avevo provato a fare queste cose, infatti fra poco io parlo anche di queste prove che avevo fatto. È una cosa che se voi switch to English now, if you want to create a very good simulation of an existing sport, there is no limit to how far you can go. So it's the attention to detail and the depth, and so there is plenty that can be done, and some of it I've already tried to do, but for reasons that I'll explain later, they didn't get published. And I think currently the efforts that are being made in the mainstream computer industry from EA and Konami and so on, I don't know that they are necessarily able to make such innovations. Traditionally, big companies are not good at making innovations. They tend to reuse the same formula. In fact, if we look at the industry as a whole, almost all the really valuable IP that everybody remembers, like over there they have the original discs for Doom. Yeah. This was not from a mainstream industry. This was from individuals who were working together in small teams without funding originally. And that's where most of our industry has come from. So I would say that, yeah, there is plenty that can be done for sports games and soccer games and every other kind of game. But we need to go back a little bit to indie for that to happen, in my view.
Okay, one more question and we finished. Abbiamo avuto nel corso di quest'anno una raccolta di firme, a petition for getting your works like Player Manager on mobile devices and other platforms, but it didn't work. Will we get in the future something new coming from you, or
not?
Or not? Yes.
I really would love to. The problem I have is just it's the business side of it. I mean, I could try and do it for free. So it's even more, it's not even the business. What it is that if I spend a year of my life making a sequel to Player Manager, there's part of me would really love to do that. But if I do that and only 300 people ever play it, even if it was given away for free, it's not worth my energy. I need to know that there really is a desire for it. I said this to my friend who we were working on a sequel to Player Manager, David Athy, and he said, well, I'll do a petition. It was his idea. And I said, well, so he said, well, how many signatures would make you feel that it would be worthwhile? And I said, 3,000 signatures. And he set the time of a month. After 1 month, there were 350. So it's just a measure. Is it worth, there are certain people who would really love me to do that, but is it worth doing? And that's the only way I have to measure it. But what I did say recently was I would do a sequel to Player Manager when I had 10,000 Twitter followers. So now I have, I think it's 540, so there's a long way to go. But basically, if I'm unable to sell a sign-up on Twitter for this idea of a new game, there's no point of going and doing a Kickstarter, and there's no point in making the game first. That's the way that I see it.
Just one more thing, since you did that, can you remember us your Twitter account so we can ask for all people who are watching to follow you and maybe get something soon?
Okay, well, it's DNDN1011.
Okay.
That's an anagram of my name, so if you might gather.
Thank you very much, Dino Dini.
Okay.